Gentlemen, for the first time in my life, I am ashamed of my country. To be watching all of this, to be treated, to have my intelligence, all of us, to have our common sense and intelligence insulted the way it's being, it just makes me ashamed. Seriously, man, I mean, here we get worked up over $44 billion. That's the total amount of money that will not be spent, that was scheduled to be spent this year. And in truth, we're going to spend more this year than we spent last year. We're just not going to spend as much as was projected. It's all baseline budgeting. There is no real cut below a baseline of zero. There just isn't. And yet, here they come, sucking us in, roping us in, panic here, fear there, crisis, destruction, no meat inspection, no cops, no teachers, no firefighters, no air traffic control. I'm sorry, my days of getting roped into all this are over.
Those were comments made by Rush Limbaugh yesterday on his radio program. They went viral and even caused his website to crash. Joining me now with reaction to what he said, radio talk show host Dana Loesch is with us, and Fox News contributor Joe Trippi. Guys, good to see you. Dana, welcome. It's good to have you back on the program. Welcome back.
It's good to be back, Sean. Thanks for having me.
You know, I guess we could say it another way. I think it's embarrassing, Joe, when a president apologizes for America. I'm embarrassed that he didn't stick up for his country. I'm embarrassed that, you know, with all our wealth, that 50 million Americans, because of bad economic policies, are on food stamps. 1 in 6 Americans are in poverty. I'm embarrassed that we're stupid enough not to drill for oil. I'm embarrassed we give the Egyptians under Morsi F-16s and tanks. I'm kind of embarrassed that our government's so dumb. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, Sean, you're embarrassed, and Rush is ashamed. And but
because this is, you know why? Because this is America. We can do better. We're making dumb decisions.
No, and I defend your right to be embarrassed and his right to be ashamed. The problem is
Thanks,
look,
Joe.
I actually agree. No, but I actually agree with I don't agree with the ashamed part. But look, this is a manufactured crisis, and both parties are to blame. That's where we differ. Is I just don't think this isn't just the president manufacturing this. Republicans have manufactured it, and the American people are sick of both sides for continuing to keep, you know, every 3 months there's another manufactured crisis around.
Great leadership by the president. I mean, all right,
well,
Dana?
You have to have votes.
I believe that saying Republicans manufactured it is manufacturing even more hysteria. I mean, here we had 2 pieces of legislation that were aiming to give an alternative to these cuts. They never made it out of the House because Harry Reid controls the Senate. He just shoots down. Sean, I don't know what to be terrified of more. We have global warming, we have assault weapons and assault rifles, and now we have the sequester cuts. Everything we're supposed to be terrified and screaming, and we're all going to go blind if we don't pass this or fight it. This president, this was his idea. He said November 21st, 2011, that I will veto any attempt to reduce these cuts. They need to own this, and Republicans should just go out there and say, you know what? We think it's great. We love that the president is finally getting serious about spending
But he's
reduction.
not getting serious. You know, and Rush made the point, Dana, I know you made the point, I made the point. We're spending more money this year than we spent last year. But you would think, listening to Obama, only in Washington, when you spend more money year to year, is that doom and gloom and a cut.
Right.
But where was Sean? Where was this? Where was this when Bush up spending far more?
I don't want to hear
than
about Bush. Bush is out of office 5 years. Get over it.
But I don't remember this outrage when he was outspending the previous 7 presidents before him.
Excuse me, no. The worst.
So if what Bush did is so bad, why is he constantly used as an excuse for everything that President Obama does? I thought he ran on a platform of change. Why do we always go back to Bush to justify this?
I'm not going back to Bush. I'm saying there's some hypocrisy going on, though, because it was okay when he did it, but it's not okay
Hey,
when
Joe, let me give you the
Obama
numbers.
does it.
Bush gave us $4 trillion in debt over 8 years. Obama gave us $6 trillion in 4 years.
Yep.
And,
Now
a couple
Obama,
billion,
as a
a couple
candidate,
trillion
said
of that
Bush
were
was
2 wars that had to keep. I mean, come on, we can go. We don't
and
want to.
unpatriotic.
Here's what, Sean,
Is
the real
Obama
problem
unpatriotic?
here. No, Sean, the real problem here is you've got the Republicans in the House are not admitting, or nothing that they propose takes into account that there is a Democratic Senate and a Democratic president. And frankly, what the president and the Democratic Senate
Dana,
doesn't take into account is that there's a Republican House.
Dana,
and so
didn't
because
the Democrats just get their tax increase?
No one's going to get their way here.
Dana, didn't we just raise taxes? Obamacare taxes, fiscal cliff. Didn't we just raise taxes on those evil, wascally witch people? Didn't we just do that?
We did. We did, and we had the stimulus that was supposed to solve everything. That should have fixed everything.
Where's
Why
the
do we
balanced
still have
approach?
this problem?
Now we got to cut. Now it's time to cut.
And
We're
people
cutting.
voted.
We're spending 15. We're spending what 2% less. I mean, we're spending just a little bit less. This is a slow rate of cuts for spending. I mean, that's all this is, and everyone's acting like we're all going to go blind and Jesus is going to appear in the sky if this happens. The president supported this in 2011. I think he should be consistent. It's
I don't think
idea.
Jesus liked the tax
consistent.
collectors either. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, which is nothing. But Joe, seriously, $85 billion of $3.8 trillion. And we're robbing our kids blind. Don't you liberals care about the children? Don't you care? You're robbing the children.
No, Sean, we don't. We don't care about robbing.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. That's
You
like,
want to poison the air and water, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but look, the Senate plan, we know, is $55 billion in new revenue and $55 billion in cuts.
But you're going to throw Grandma over the cliff, Joe. Your policies are going to throw Granny over the cliff if we cut $85 billion out of $3.8 trillion. That's what you're doing.
Don't forget about all the animals at the zoo, too.
No,
the Washington Post did a whole article on that.
No, the real problem with the $85 billion, and it isn't, I don't, $85 billion shouldn't be a problem at all, neither should 110. It's that there's no flexibility in any, I mean, defense doesn't have any flexibility about how those cuts happen. That's the real problem.
Because Obama's insisting on another tax increase and not just cuts. He got 2 tax increases. Now he's insisting on another one. And Republicans think, like I do, we're taxed enough.
Exactly. We already had our tax hikes. We don't need any more. Find another alternative.
Joe, I'm sick of paying more in taxes so that you can kill Grandma and poison the water.
I have gotten that message from you, Sean.
All right. By the way, I did not, Joe. Honestly, I really don't believe you want to do that. It may shock people. And Republicans and conservatives actually want to drink pure natural spring water. And guess what? We love our grandmothers. And we don't want to steal from our kids' piggy bank. Yeah, all right. Good to see you both. Thanks,
Thanks,
Sean.
Take
care.